What substances were you addicted to?
So, looking back in hindsight, you don't actually think you're addicted to any substance when you start, do you? It's just a bit of crack, a bit of recreational fun. But the first substance I would say I became addicted to was probably methadone, monkey madness, as we called it in Derry. Meth. I think I was like 17, 18 when that came out. I was never into drugs, I was always into my fitness and my football and stuff, and I had a bad knee injury. Probably revisit that as we go on. So I had a bit of a bad knee injury when I was 17, and you know, your weekends free up and you're looking about and you're out drinking and stuff, and then this was a legal high, you see, so I was like, it couldn't be that bad if you buy it and the Red Star or whatever. So we went in, it was called Blow at the time, and it was half a gram, I think, maybe for 15 quarters or something like that. So I went and bought it on a Friday day after I get my hair cut. It was like a ritual thing, we got our hair cut every Friday, so then it was just up the street, the shop was literally up the street, so we went up and bought the half a gram. Went back to the mates as we did, like we did every other Friday night, a couple pre-drinks before we headed to the Strand Bar. But this night we tried a wee bag of stuff, and I swear to God, it was just the crap, the euphoria you felt, and the shite that you were talking, we'll call it, was just on another level. It was brilliant crack that night. So when it was opening your minds, they fuck. Like, Jesus, that was some crack there. So you're going again the next weekend, you're getting another bag, and it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's only a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're going to work and stuff, you're still getting up, you're young, you're battering about your day, you're still able to interact with things. But it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, every Friday and Saturday, Sunday for years and years and years and years. And looking back in hindsight now, that's actually an addiction, because you can't separate that at the weekends. So methadone, then it was always alcohol. I always enjoyed a drink. I wouldn't have said I would have been an alcoholic, but I loved a drink at the weekends. Religiously, again, Friday, Saturday, Sundays out for a drink. Again, you're building up a habit, because those weekends become always associated with drink. And then if you didn't drink at the weekends, you used to be sitting in the house going, like feeling like I was missing out on something while all the boys are out, but you're not actually missing out on anything. So it was methadone, alcohol, cocaine.
When did it start to become an addiction? Like, did you need to take it every day?
Yeah, so when it started to become every day, it was only maybe 2 years ago. 2 years ago, things at the house weren't going great. My mental health was I was suffering from a bit of depression, but things at the house weren't great, and I started using every day, to deal with just the way things were at the house. But
how were things in the house? I mean, did that make you?
Well, things in the house were, I just had a new Wayne, I just had a new child, you see, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. I get a lot inside my own head a lot, and I used to think I wasn't good enough. Sorry, so back to the question, I didn't think, I basically had a lot of self-doubt, and then a child was coming, so I struggled to deal with all these emotions and stuff, and for me, I just started turning to a substance, and the substance became cocaine, and that became literally a daily habit. I was literally hiding it above, you know, your cooker in the house, you know, where we have your presses, where you keep stuff, or your sauces, your plates and everything. I have mine set up there. My girlfriend had absolutely no idea. I told her all this, nothing's new to it now. It's quite shocking at the time. It's probably shocking for anybody to hear, but there is people doing that right now as well, in their own houses as well, and that's a fact. It's brutal, like. And knowing that you're doing that, and knowing that you're cheating and you're lying and you're spending the money that you're trying to earn in the house, and then that's causing problems as well, because now the house wasn't great anyway. You're out spending all your hard-earned money on the cocaine. Money, you shouldn't need to give money into the house, but I couldn't. So it was constantly just a vicious circle of lying and just being skint all the time, and then obviously your girlfriend or your partner or whatever is asking what's going on, and you're just constantly I became a master of disguise as well. Like, I could have looked you dead in the eye and you wouldn't have knew any better. You wouldn't have knew I was on anything, like, apart from just, I looked awful, you know.
How did you look?
I didn't look like this anyway, and I don't mean that in a cocky way, like, I feel like completely different. Looking back at some photos there over the last few months, like, I just let my appearance completely deteriorate. I just let myself go. I was very skinny, I barely ate. In fact, I know I was going up to Ferry shop and eating packet of Munster Munch every day to survive on it. I didn't want to spend any money. I didn't even have electric. There was days where people were coming into my house and there wasn't even toilet roll or anything for them to use a toilet, and that's a fact. I literally spent every single penny I had on it.
Were you living with your gear at the time?
I moved out. I left there. I walked out and her. I see. I know I'm a wee bit chaotic with my story here. So basically, I walked out on Dara and the child because I knew my addiction was starting to spiral out of control and I couldn't admit it. And obviously, when you can't admit up to things, me being me, I always run away from my problems. I used to run away from my problems and start to learn to deal with them a bit more now. So, see, I always forget stuff is what I'm talking about.
Did she know that you were leaving because of?
No, she hadn't a clue. She just thought, what the fuck, he just got up and left.
I just want to know about the desperation of what it's like. Because when I was I was a practicing alcoholic. I was like, if I didn't have a drink, I felt desperate. I didn't know what to do. Did you always have money to buy?
Okay, so that's what we're here to talk about. That's the type of questions I want. So, no, no, I didn't have money. That's the thing. I always wanted to live up to everybody else's lifestyle growing up. So that's another where the problem came. So I had a job like anybody else, working for source stuff, doing PT and whatever. But obviously you stop that when addiction takes over. You can't even get out of bed some days. You don't leave a house. So then the addicts become the dealers almost. Now, I don't mean you're out in the street dealing like some people, but you're dealing to your close circle, your own friends, your own acquaintances that you're drinking with or you're drugging with. So that is how
I know what you mean. You said you have a circle. How did it feel to come down off cocaine if you didn't have any money to buy it?
I used to cry myself to sleep high some nights, like literally. I remember staring at the mirror, not having any drugs or nothing, and hitting myself and saying to myself I would never ever do it again and need to stop. And the minute you have money again, you're way back doing the same thing because you didn't want to feel that come down. That come down, the higher you go, the harder you fall. But the stuff now going about at the minute isn't even cocaine, so that it's all synthetic stuff. So again, it's frying everybody's brain. At least 20 years ago, when cocaine was cocaine, they actually knew what was in it. I had a come down is severe, so I think that's the problem. No one wants to come down, so you're using consistently just a wee bump here and a wee bump there just to keep topping up. I wasn't doing big massive lines here and there. I was doing wee bumps throughout the day or every 20 minutes or every hour just to keep me level-headed because I never ever wanted to come down. The come down was brutal. Definitely brutal. I would be in the mornings, most mornings without fail, I would have had the same problem. We just got this here pure sickness, like a nauseated feeling if I didn't have it. I used to run to the toilet and throw up. So I just didn't want that, so I was constantly taking the stuff. Nauseated was a feeling I had a lot. My mental health was deteriorating. My family was gone. My body was starting to shut down. I have a growth in my bladder. There's so much different things going on at the moment, and with the coke and diet, no one's talking about. There's stuff in it called boric acid, and the boric acid is making people's bladders and kidneys start to shut down. There's people in Derry running around with autoimmune diseases and stuff because of the boric acid, but no one's talking about this.
What is that?
The boric acid is just it's something that they use to cut the coke. It's like it's a very, if you can Google it, basically it's not for human consumption anyway. Basically it'll make your nose and your roof of your mouth and stuff basically disintegrate, and it makes you pee out your bladder. Basically cat bladder is now the same substance as in the coke, and it's highly addictive as well. So I'm not here like basically what I'm trying to do is educate people, to let them know that, you know, there's a fine line between recreational cocaine use and a habit, and how to identify that you are an addict, and how do you identify you're an addict. What is it? You need to ask yourself, can you go a day without it? Is it affecting your finances? Is it affecting your family life? Is it affecting your mental health? And there's just so many reasons why sobriety as well is probably the best thing that you'll ever do.
That's what you're saying. There's rings home to me. Like it affects your finances, your family.
Yeah, that all. It'll take everything from you. It takes your identity and end up. It took my identity.
Well, that is addiction, what you just said.
Yeah, you know, it'll take everything from you. It'll take your soul from me. And then again, you start to actually become a person you resent, maybe doing things that you wouldn't do. Now, I never stole from anybody, which is something I'm actually proud of, but I've done other things that I'm not proud of to get the money. But again, addiction will literally take everything from me. But
I've done a lot of things that I wouldn't have done.
100%.
If I hadn't been drinking, if I hadn't needed more.
Yeah, big time. There's, don't get me started. There's places I've been that I wouldn't be. People have been with that I wouldn't have been with, and things I've done that I wouldn't do without when I was on way just a normal mind, with a sound mind. And I think that's another thing that's a big problem at the minute with cocaine. And I don't know if we want to put this out there, but it's almost like, I don't know the actual name of what I'm trying to say, but cocaine now is almost like a sex drug, and it's just in parties. Now you're on parties and there's girls there and boys there, and maybe one girl and 4 boys. This is making people, things are happening and people's not thinking right. And then these people are coming around to their senses and they're all, what the fuck? Before you know it, their name's out there and for the wrong reasons. And that's constantly, I've spoken to people that's actually happened to at the minute. So again, it's pervert powder, I call it now. Pervert powder. Because it just does something to your brain. Most people I talk to now, even my own, the cocaine is now an antisocial drug. Growing up, cocaine was a social drug. You took it, they talk. We talked about this at the start of that interview. Now you're taking cocaine and it's making you doubt yourself. You're not even speaking, you're just going completely quiet. So now you've gone from having a social night out to an antisocial night out, and then you've gone home on your own and you're peeking through your blinds looking for the next hit. And I spoke to a taxi man a couple of weeks ago and he was saying to me, he recognised me not going out for my videos and stuff, and he said the many boys and girls he picks up now from a bar at 10:30, 11:30, whatever, saying he knows they're wanged, you can tell them they just want to go home and sit on their own. They don't, it's mad. Like that's where it's leaving you. You're isolating yourself now, and again, the more times you isolate and sit on your own, you're creating a serious habit, and it's just your own downfall.
So is cocaine bad in the town?
It's fair. Cocaine is rife at the minute. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking, having a bit of fun, but there's a fine line between recreational drug use and a habit. And my wee girl's 4 now soon, and for me that's a big thing. I don't want her growing up in this type of environment. It's not just cocaine, it's tablets as well. You can see all the young ones, you can see all the young ones down the town outside hillbillies and stuff. They're really, really young. They look like they're 16, 17s. Again, where are they coming from? Where is the help for them? Where is the care system for them? It's because clearly they've been just put out in the street at 16 and 17. And it's so easy to walk past an addict and turn down your nose at them. We've all done it. I've done it myself. Maybe someone looking a wee bit dirty that day, and you look down on your nose at them, and you're not looking at the person, you're looking at the addiction, and that person is a real person and probably doesn't want to be in that fucking situation. And we all just step over them like they're a piece of shit. And I'm actually getting a bit emotional because I do it myself. I've done it myself. I don't do it myself anymore. And then you're afraid to go over now to maybe help somebody or something because you're doing that for social media. I just feel like we need somewhere where people can walk in there and just say, I've got a problem, I need help. There's nowhere in Derry with that. Do I deserve recovery? I'm trying to process what that actually means. I think everybody deserves recovery, if that makes sense to you. I think everybody, which I just touched on about those people you walk over in the street, I think everybody deserves recovery, but I wanted recovery. I think that's different. I always wanted recovery, even when I was doing it when I was 5, 6, 7 years ago. I remember saying I don't want to do this anymore, but you kept doing it. So I think I deserve recovery. I think everybody deserves recovery. And I think everybody deserves a chance they almost clear their name. Like, show people that they're a different person and the opinion that people have created. Because I'm telling you now, the whole Derry knew what I was doing or who I was or what they have opinion of me for over the years. Druggy, basically. Like, oh, you're a cokehead. No, I mean, you get that name. So, for me, I think everybody deserves a second chance, basically.
I'm sober 11 and a half years, and the process of forgiving myself and also forgetting my past. So days go on, you forget, and the person you are sober takes over, because you're sober such a long time now that becomes who you are now. Where before I was drunk all the time, but now I'm sober all the time. I'm sober years now, so that becomes the person that I am.
So you got your identity back almost.
100%.
I totally get you. I feel like I'm getting my 16-year-old self. I say that to people. I actually feel up here in my head. I feel like my 16-year-old self. No care in the world. Almost like before we were an adult. I feel like I've almost went back there, if that makes sense to you. What was it again, Gavin?
I was making a mess of it, but you just said getting your identity back, and that's spot on.
Getting your identity back is a big thing for me.
And being the person you were before you started it.
Just trying to find yourself again, and that's what I say to people. Maybe go back to that time when you feel like, where was your happiest time in your life? Where was that happy time? Which some people, it's usually that 16 out with their friends, going crazy, having a bit of fun. What were you doing then? Were you Were you playing football? Were you playing music? What was it? Maybe go back and pick that up, pick the ball up, pick the guitar up, pick the brush up, go swimming. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Go back to those wee habits that you used to do and see if they work for you. That is another message I want to hammer home. That's what I did. I got up every morning. I haven't just subtracted. I've actually replaced it. So I've replaced the drink and the drugs and the partying with fitness. I get up every morning, non-negotiable. I don't want it anymore, but I do it because I know what it does for my life. And I just want to be happy. So I get up every morning and go a walk. Again, that keeps you off everything. Can't do anything because I promise myself every night and getting up in the morning. So again, if anybody wants to try it, I highly recommend getting out a walk every day.
Why are we here? We'll move on now to who you are now. Why are we sitting out here this afternoon for? Why did you pick in here?
Here because I believe active recovery is a big thing. I'm mad on they. Now there is a crowd in Derry who do a lot of that work, ARC Fitness, so they do active recovery. So if anybody, if I've ever heard of them, I would check them out. Or anybody struggling with any addiction stuff, definitely check them out. So they do active recovery stuff, and I'm a big believer in that as well. I just touched on it there now. So I believe that's why I'm on here, to hammer on the message that getting up and creating a new habit could change your life. You might not be under the gym, but that's why I'm on here. And it's not just here. It's why I'm here now today is because, again, I've been contacted by people from Belfast, Donegal. I've been up at Highland Radio and stuff. But no one in Derry has actually been hammering out this message. Very few. And I've seen some of your work, Gavin. And it's raw and it's real, and I think that's why we're sitting here today. And your work just kept popping up on my TikTok, and I'm a big believer in energies. And this week I just felt like the message was being missed in Derry, or needed it, and I think that's why we're here today. When I started this, I didn't plan to help anybody. I only planned to help myself and to get myself back to who I wanted to be and who I was before. So as I said, I started going out to walks in the morning. And when I went out to walks, I started documenting these walks every morning. Just a wee bit of accountability for myself, that's all it was. And I started recovery in August, so this was September, October, November, December. First 4 months of my recovery, it was fucking freezing. So I was out those walks every morning, but I loved it, I absolutely loved the challenge it. And it was 4 months into my sobriety, and obviously this is what my passion is. So I was like, why don't I start a wee group to see if anybody actually wants to come? Just give back to the people. Look, I'll put it out there, no one might bite. If they bite, happy days. I only want to help one person, so that's what I did.
How does it work? Do they come?
Yeah, that's right. I'll get that now in a wee second. So I started putting up information, and then I put up a post saying, would anybody be interested in a men's group with people struggling with addiction, loneliness, trauma, anything in the past? You don't even need that. If you want to just show up to the group because you want to learn, that's fine, and be a part of anything, that's no problem. So I put the post up. People just butt it right away. Loads of people tell me they're struggling. So the group is on a Wednesday night at 8 p.m, a Saturday at 10 a.m, Sunday at 10 a.m. Now it's all walks of life. There's no big egos here. There's all different people. Anybody can show up, and that there is me basically trying to give back.
And it's in here in Emerge Fitness on the Buncrana Road.
It's here in Emerge Fitness on the Buncrana Road. Now, it's next to Foyside Tyres. Again, the gym is here. The gym is accessible from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday. Peter, who owns the gym, is actually big on the mental health as well. We're actually organising a mental health walk in the next few months, just basically save for men to come and basically try and clear their head. So, hope that answers the question. Don't give up. Don't give in. There's definitely better days ahead. It's the best decision you'll ever make. It's honestly the best decision you'll ever make. Again, finding yourself is one of the best things you'll ever do. Rebuilding relationships is the best thing you ever do. If you are thinking about sobriety and you're sober, curious and stuff, take it day by day. Don't set expectations. Another thing for me is I don't count days. I know I'm a year sober and stuff, but I don't go, I'm 300-400 days sober, because for me, my days aren't going to end, and there's no end in my days. I think if you're counting days, then you're looking for something to beat the next time. But for me, if you're on the fence about being sober, and the reason why you're on the fence about being sober is because maybe you're struggling with your finances or your mental health or anything, once you get over those first 3 or 4 weeks, you'll know what we're talking about. It's a far better life. Speak up, ask for help, and that's it.
What's your, in terms of yourself and the groups that you do, what's your hopes for the future for you and your groups?
In an ideal world, I would love for the group, well, it's actually happening, it's actually in motion at the minute. I'm not going to give her name away, because there's a charity in Oma at the minute who are willing to register the group. And obviously registering the group opens up more doors, because we're confined day to gym. But like to be able to take these lads outside at the weekend, maybe do things, but the finances aren't there. And then I'm not going to be somebody who's going to put up GoFundMe pages and stuff like that. I'm never going to do that, okay? Because again, there's too many people out to get you. So for me, the hopes of the future would be the group is get it registered, being able to do things outside of the gym, be able to fill people's time, because again, the weekends are lonely. Just take these boys in sessions, maybe out for dinner, just give back, just expand the group, maybe, I don't know. I just give hope to men and Derry and people struggling, and hopefully the group just keeps growing in numbers, and it's still here 10 years time. And a big hope I have for Derry is that we do get a detox centre within the next 10 years, which sounds crazy, but hopefully we're not sitting here 10 years' time having the same discussion. So,
all right, Ciaran, that's great. Hey, thanks very much.
Thanks, Gavin. I was a wee bit nervous there, so.